Hi y'all, my name is Ryce and I'm so excited to talk to y'all about STEM and college and how y'all can get there too. So, a little bit about me. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and I'm currently a rising senior studying electrical engineering at the University of Michigan. And so I know what you're thinking, like, how did you get into STEM? So, for me personally, I've always loved math since middle school. It just always came really easy to me, and I just love the coursework, and I loved doing it. And another thing is that when I was in high school, I had the choice to choose an elective to take my junior year, and so I decided to take robotics for the fun of it, and it turned out to be one of my favorite classes that I ever took in high school. I absolutely loved working on a team. I loved being able to be hands-on. I loved being able to code and like work with like hardware and build stuff. Like that was my favorite thing. That was my move. And so as a result, I decided to join the club. And because I was so passionate about this club, I got to be I got to be captain. And so like from there on out, I knew that I wanted to go into engineering because those were really like the foundational things of engineering: being able to work on a team, being able to be a problem solver and a critical thinker, and being able to create stuff. So yeah, and then so like what are some of the challenges that I face in engineering and in STEM is that one, definitely relearning how to study. So my freshman year, my first exam that I took, I failed it, like, because I thought I could just go into college the way I did in high school and just kind of breeze through. That's not it at all. You really need to relearn how to study, how to be as effective in what you're aiming to master, especially. So whether or not it's like doing a bunch of practice problems over and over and over again, doing practice tests, going to office hours, definitely relearning how to study and strategizing. Second, time management. So like you think you have all the time in the world now that you don't have like 6 to 7 classes a day, but really you can get really sidetracked, especially with all the time you have. So managing your time through like Google Calendar, so you know when your classes are, you could plan when you're gonna have lunch, when you're gonna work out, when are you gonna study. It's very effective in making sure that you're getting everything that you need to get done. And lastly would definitely be being an African American female in my major. So I'm definitely usually one of the few African Americans, and especially the few African American females in my class. And the way I went about that is definitely joining like an org and a community that shares, my likeness. So of course I joined the National Society of Black Engineers, and it's that strong community that really has helped me through these 3 years, especially when I feel like I'm alone about like when you really can't connect to the classroom environment. So, but there are definitely other orgs and organizations you can join to feel that community feeling, whether it's SWE, Society of Women Engineers, SHIP, Society of Hispanic Engineers. There's a ton of organizations like that in college. So if that's something you worry about, that's something it's not. So like some advice for me to give to you guys is, for one, definitely take your AP classes seriously. In my opinion, I didn't take it seriously enough. And honestly, I would have loved to skip my prerequisites because they're killer in college, and they're considered weed out classes, which is exactly like the name sounds. So they're trying to weed people out. So definitely take your AP classes seriously, study up. Next, I would say is to definitely use the internet to your advantage. So like a lot of people that I know already had like projects like that they'd already done with like engineering. So like coding up like an app, or like, just coding or building stuff on the side. You have a lot more resources than you think, especially when we have the internet. So like don't be afraid to like decide to go and make your own thing. Or just like develop things on your own time on the side. Next, don't lose confidence in yourself. So engineering and just STEM in general it's hard. It's math, it's a lot of science, it's a lot of studying, but in the end it's worth it because you're improving the quality of life for everybody. And you shouldn't let yourself get down if you don't get something immediately, or you know, you see yourself having to go to office hours all the time, or you're stuck on like a homework. Do not lose faith in yourself, especially since you have communities of people who want you to be successful. So for me personally, again, NSBE. So again, don't lose faith in yourself. And lastly, I would have to say is that if there are any types of programs that you can join that would like kind of help you figure out your major as well. So like for me, it was robotics. I did robotics as a extracurricular at my high school. But say if you have like a coding club or like a robotics club, or like just like a program that is run in your city that has to do with engineering or STEM, definitely take advantage of it, because then you can see if you really think this is exactly what you want to do, and you want to be happy, especially in what you're doing as a career as well. So yeah, but that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening, and hopefully, you know, you decide to pursue STEM.